What numbers should you be tracking as a law firm owner? As a law firm owner, there are so many things that you have to pay attention to. And there are so many stats and numbers and figures that you could focus on. So which ones do you pay attention to? So just remember that as we move forward, what gets measured gets managed. So let's stop paying attention to how much time people are sitting at their desks staring at their screens, and let's start focusing on real numbers that really matter. How do you know if your law firm is winning as a business? How do you know if the efforts that you're putting out are bringing in the kind of results that are going to make your firm the kind of money that you're looking for? Today, I'm going to simplify the types of indicating numbers that you want to be tracking as a law firm owner so that you can put your mind at ease and not have to feel like you're looking in 80 different directions for just the right number or just the right statistic that you need to pay attention to. Now I'm going to break this down into 3 areas of indicators that you need to track. The first is leading indicators. The second is process indicators. And the third is lagging indicators. Let's start with the leading indicators. These are the most common that most people think of when trying to track things for their business, because most people in a small business, and especially in a law firm, want to know how many consults they've had. They want to know how many phone calls came in, how many website inquiries, how many new clients are coming in the door that are not through their website. So they want to know those things, but what does that really mean? And how does that really connect to your numbers? Now, of your leading indicators, I'm going to give you a few examples and a few things to choose from. One is going to be the number of calls or website inquiries into your office, because that gives you an idea of where your cases and clients and interests are coming from to begin with. This is going to help your marketing aspect a lot and help you connect the dots with your marketing company or firm that you're using to help you with your marketing. Along those lines, another leading indicator that you could utilize is new referral relationship. So if you are a big networker and you're meeting with other attorneys and you meet with someone who's in a different field than you and you make a connection about how you might be able to refer clients to each other, and you're learning about them and they're learning about you, that's a leading indicator, because then you can start tracking how many clients come from which referral source as you move forward. And you can know as you move forward in your relationship building with other attorneys in particular, how many clients that person typically sends your way in a given month or year. And that can help you start to track the numbers that you're going to get in terms of income from that referral source. So don't underestimate the value of those relationships and having that as a leading indicator. Another leading indicator that's very typical is consultations. So the number of times that you have an actual conversation, however that looks like for you, whether it's on the phone, Zoom, in person, and whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. It's going to vary a lot on your practice area and what you consider to be a consultation that's with an attorney. So not just intake with your staff, but when there is an actual conversation between you or one of your attorneys and the potential client. The fourth leading indicator that I would offer is just cases open. So actual people that signed on the dotted line, signed your retainer agreement, paid the flat fee, however you brought that person in. That's a really good fourth leading indicator. Now, you don't have to use all 4 of these. These are just some examples of leading indicators that are front loaded. Now, you don't have to track every single one of these leading indicators. These are just 4 examples that are pretty key components to knowing how you're getting your clients, where they're coming from, and to start giving you an idea of how much income is headed your way in the way of flat fees or hourly billing. So most attorneys and small firms, as I said, they pay a lot of attention to those leading indicators. What a lot of attorneys and law firms don't pay as much attention to, because it's in the middle of their work and of their casework, is process indicators. That's why I'm going to keep this simple for you. We're going to have 2 types. One is simply cases filed. How many cases did you file in a given month or quarter or whatever time frame you're using? And that could mean, if it's not a court case, if it's doing, an estate plan or a will or trust or something that's not something you actually file with the court, you can change that lingo. That could just mean cases that you have drafted for the client, or documents that you've drafted, or contracts that you've drafted in a business law setting. And so that's one of the number 1 process indicators, is cases filed. The other process indicator that you might consider is trials scheduled or key dates scheduled. So whether this is a mediation, deposition, settlement conference, something like that, where you know that one of the key parts of this case is going to be not just that it's been filed or kind of started, but that it is headed towards a big moment or something that's going to produce a lot of revenue, because there's going to be a lot of time involved in that particular scheduled moment. As I said, process indicators are not always they're not always a number that most attorneys or small law firm owners are going to pay that much attention to. The reason that they're important is because then you know what's coming down the road, and you can start to predict your income, and you can start to predict how much availability or capacity you and your attorneys are going to have to take on new matters in the future. So don't underestimate process indicators. They are an important number to keep track of. So after leading indicators, process indicators, the third category is lagging indicators. Lagging indicators are going to be ones where you're kind of looking in the rearview mirror and seeing how things went. One of the most common ones is cases closed. So you've filed your notice of non-representation, or you've completed, documents for a client, whatever it is, the case is completely closed. How many of those did you close in this month? That's a really good way. Once you start getting that number along with your leading indicators that you've already gotten, you can kind of see how your caseload is kind of either ramping up or ramping down. And that can also give you a sense of, okay, we need to be doing a better job marketing because maybe we're not getting as much in as we're closing. We're gonna have a lot of capacity here to fill in the near future. Another lagging indicator that I just love so much is how many 5-star reviews did we get? Now, I personally just use Google for this. You can, if your marketing emphasizes one particular social media heavily, like Facebook, Instagram, something like that, then you could use those as a lagging indicator as well. But this does two things. One, it keeps you focused on that number because it's an important marketing tool that's free for you. It's easy to track. It's free for you to pay attention to, and it keeps you focused on the importance of making sure that you're getting and actively seeking out those positive reviews from clients, because so many people now focus on those reviews. They make their decisions to hire you or not based on those reviews. And so that is a huge lagging indicator that could be really important for you. So these are some of the numbers, some of the things you can put on your scoreboard for you and your team to be keeping track of. These are things that are fairly easy to track. They're things that tell you a lot of information and help you compare month over month and year over year how you're doing and whether or not you're actually winning as a firm. Some side benefits to this that you'll start seeing once you start making this a habit. It's going to help you with your goal setting. It's going to help you direct your marketing team, whether it's an internal team or an external company. It's going to help you start to direct them and to know how many referrals you need from what sources. And then another side benefit is that it's just going to provide clarity for you and your staff and attorneys and help them to see that the efforts they're making on a day-to-day basis are actually turning into real numbers and producing real results and real revenue for you and your firm moving forward. So focus on these numbers, focus, and make sure that you're consistently tracking them and going over them with your team, and you'll start finding a lot more clarity and a lot more success in your firm. Please remember to like and subscribe so that we can keep engaging on more of these helpful tips for your firm and making you more and more successful. Thanks.